Let me start this off by saying I do not like the idea of nepotism from the current standpoint in which I exist right now. Like being like this 19-year-old young black man with not a lot of money to my name, right? But we're doing a thought experiment. So basically, is nepotism that bad? If I'm just like thinking from like, so let's just go back to where this whole thing started. Watched the video yesterday. It was talking about Baby Keem and how like having Kendrick as a cousin has kind of like just affected his rise to stardom. Because obviously, if you have a cousin that's in the industry, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to get to where you're going because they already built those paths for you. So, yeah, the whole idea is like I don't think the whole reason why we got to look back and just like what society, the reason why people think nepotism is bad, because like, yeah, I agree it's bad too, but like, why do I think it's bad? I think it's bad. Now this might not be everybody. We grow up in just like general media, thinking about like specifically like what's the recent guy like Daniel Mack, that one guy who's always like he goes up to people in their cars and is like, hey, I like your car, what do you do for a living? And then usually he ends it off being like, he asks them, hey, like if there's something that you could like tell the people in the world who want this sort of car, this sort of lifestyle, like what should they do? And then they'll always be like, just work hard, work hard. So then this kind of idea of America being like this, you work hard and you get someplace, like a meritocracy. That's like the concept. Like if I work hard, then I'm going to be able to get my opportunities just based on the merit of my own work. That's where the merit comes from. You probably knew that. But um, that whole idea is what I'd say is like peddled in media. So we grew up thinking like, hey, if I work hard, then I'm going to be able to get in. But the thing is, like, I'm the son to immigrants. That's not quite how it works. I see my parents, they're working hard all the time. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be like, I'm going to become a Nepo baby anytime soon. Like, of course, I'm 19 now, but like, there's a lot more barriers than that. So I think it's kind of asinine that we're pretending that, oh, this is kind of getting to a tangent, but it's kind of asinine that we're pretending like having doors open for you, having like some barriers removed isn't like affecting where people working hard. Because if you're working hard, but you don't have like a path to work hard too, like let's just, right? If I'm in a maze, right, and I'm working hard to find the exit to the maze, just chill with me for a little bit. But let's just say like I don't have vision, right? Yeah, I could be working hard to find the thing, but if I don't have a path out, like I'm not going to be able to. Now, if somebody's able to have like a little, you know how in GTA they'll have like the little Pathfinder thing, you put like your waypoint thing and then it kind of just like tells you where you need to go. Yeah, imagine somebody has that. Um, and then they also just have like they have like flash speed in order to get there too, because they just are tapped into the speed force. That's kind of what having other people around you. Like, yeah, you still gotta work, you still gotta like take the steps to get there, but we can't act like it's the same level of yeah, there's some people that will be able to be blind and get to the end, but like we can't act like it's the same level of it's a lot harder to do if you don't have the vision and you don't have like a fast like you're not tapped into the speed force, like you're just walking on your own type beat. So I think that's why, at least me myself, I don't like it, nepotism as a concept, because we're always told like, hey, you work hard, then you'll get somewhere in life. But that's not what it is. You kind of just, yeah, like some people, they're given the opportunities who are like less fortunate, but they peddle those, and they mean the media, they peddle those like ideas to be like, okay, you can succeed, but then they don't tell you about like the people who didn't get there. But that's kind of like a great sidestep. Um, I think just using a little bit of empathy and stepping into the shoes of like established people, I just think to myself, like, they're doing this thing where I don't like it, but who's to say that if I wasn't in that position, I wouldn't do it too? Especially because I see people that I've just been around growing up who they have the drive and passion to succeed, but they just don't have the opportunity to get there. So if I was like Elon Musk and my nephew came up to me and was like, hey, like, I'm your nephew, or maybe not even came up to me, but like my nephew, I see him grinding, I see him working hard, but like I have the means in order to help him achieve success. Success being money. I guess success is, it's to what you define it, but most of the time people when they're saying success, it's success is money. So I see him and I have like a position open, or there's this other business venture that I want to invest in, but I want somebody else to do it, but I see that he's skilled in it. Why wouldn't I prop him there? Like, I see him grinding. Like, in my view, I'm doing a good thing because I'm helping my people that are around me. So, in that regard, I don't think nepotism is like that bad, because if we're just thinking about, let's think about like an actor, right? You got like Will Smith, right? Will Smith propped up Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith's been in movies since like I was a kid. No, even before that, because he's like a little older than me, because Pursuit of Happiness dropped, I think, before I was even born. And then you also have Willow Smith. She's been dropping music, but like they've been propped up in the limelight. So what he's doing is like providing for his kids, making sure that they're gonna be able to kind of be able to make their own living, even if he were to pass or something. And I don't think that's that bad of a thing. We just like to bake it. I should say we. I should say I. I feel like a little conflicted when I see like, oh, they're put in these positions of like having influence on people, and I'm like, yo, what have they really done though? There's people who, you got artists on SoundCloud who are dropping like better songs than Willow or Jaden Smith, but they're not getting the notoriety. But we're propping these guys up because we know them. So I think that's where a lot of it comes from. But if I'm looking for this perspective of a rich person, if I'm working hard, working hard, working hard, I'm having those opportunities come to me, but I know it's like based on chance, because a lot of those opportunities are based on being in the right place at the right time. So if I know it's based on chance, why would I would just try and like lessen the amount of variables for people that I care about that are around me, because that's how I would see myself improving the conditions of the people around me, because I don't feel like I should be eating if my family and my friends aren't eating too. So I think they're just seeing it from that perspective. Yeah, there's definitely some greed aspects. Like, we not rocking with Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z, he exploits the shit out of people, but that's a whole separate thing. But yeah, so like, is nepotism bad? Yeah, it's like bad. But if we like use our little bit of empathy muscles, then we can realize like, okay, yeah, no, they're not really acting that out of line. People like to play God, I think is what my main thing is. People like to play God and have control over things. So they'll go back on their moral values if they have the means to, because they think that they're doing a good thing when they're kind of contributing to a problem. So I think the main solution is if we could just acknowledge that nepotism is going to be like a thing and that America isn't a meritocracy. Or I mean, America's not going to do that anytime soon. But then people would be like, okay, I gotta utilize my connections. But then the thing is, if we acknowledge that America wasn't a meritocracy, then it will also be like, okay, what are the barriers that people face towards attaining success? And then we'll be talking about privilege, and people don't like talking about privilege. So I think that's the underlying issue, because by acknowledging that America isn't like a work hard, you get somewhere, then you got to acknowledge the fact that historically certain people from certain groups haven't been allowed to get into certain types of business, or they've been pigeonholed in certain types of businesses and they're not allowed to. I shouldn't say not allowed to, but you've effectively made it like insurmountable to go or to getting there, unless like a couple through get through the cracks type beat. Um, or America becomes like a complete meritocracy, which, even if I just think about it, if America became a complete meritocracy because of the historical elements involved there, you would still see similar people in power because, yeah, you definitely see some changes, but the underlying thing is if somebody's family has had access to education for 200 years, and but you're the first person, but you're from a different family and you're the first one to like actually finish high school, go to college, like of course like the other family's gonna be able to be, they're probably in a higher spot already. So then it's like, yeah, like you still gotta work for it. But if my son or daughter has from this other family, if they have smart people around them, I shouldn't say smart people, if they have like educated people around them, then they're already gonna have like the money in order to like do stuff. So it's like perpetuating the same system. So maybe it's less that America isn't on a meritocracy. No, America is not a meritocracy. But just like alternative point of view, maybe America is a meritocracy, but because of the oppression and the systemic issues underlying our system, that it's a certain type of people that have the merit, I think, yeah, that have the merit in order to get these jobs, whatever that merit means. I think merit's like not only what you're doing, but like who's doing it too. Like just being honest, like if I had my white brother, if we were doing the exact same thing, he probably gonna be propped up a little bit more than me. I'm just gonna keep it honest. Yeah, people might be surprised, be like, oh my gosh, he's a black guy being successful type beat, but it's like still he's gonna be given more opportunities if we're doing the exact same thing. Sometimes it feels like I gotta like just grind even harder and even harder, but that's just how it is. Um, yeah, it's a thoughts experiment, I guess. Yeah.